our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
Does everybody remember the WMDs, the weapons of mass destruction that Iraq supposedly had some 20 years ago? We killed 1 million Iraqis and nada. There were no WMDs. OMG, my bad. Today it's enriched uranium that was supposed to be in locations A, B, and C. But now no one knows where it is. No one knows what we bombed. We just played whack-a-mole with a nation of 90 million people. But here's what we do know. Trump is mentally ill and a danger to the world. But bombing this enriched uranium was the only reason for this massive airstrike. 125 planes with bombs that almost weighed as much as Man-Titties himself. But now apparently no one knows what the hell we bombed. We do know this though, Iran will kill Americans for this attack.
Sometimes the military has to be used if it's used by a smart commander-in-chief, if it's used wisely, if it's used for a specific purpose, it gives us peace. So I want the so-called, I don't know what to call them, people are running around, warmonger, the sloganeers. This should be an education for you, too. This should be an education for you, too. America, don't you feel relief? Of course you feel relief.
So now the question, why? Why did the recently convicted felonious sociopath act out? Could it be because of Fox News, who'll back anything he says? Or could it be because we called him Taco? Trump always chickens out, and he responded like a fifth grader.
It is much too early to say what the bomb damage assessment at Isfahan, with its hardened tunnels some 600 feet deep, really were. Current and former Pentagon officials think the program was likely set back by 1 to 2 years, but no one knows where the highly enriched uranium actually is. 900 pounds of it, enough for 9 nuclear bombs. It could have been moved or could be buried, we're told. There is little doubt that the U.S. will now face a retaliatory strike from Iran. After the U.S. military killed General Qasem Soleimani in 2020, it took Iran 10 days to fire ballistic missiles at U.S. bases in Iraq. But this time it may come a lot sooner. Kayleigh?
Jen, quick question for you, because I'm reading reports about the airspace being closed above Al Udeid Air Base there. Was there any effort to disperse troops ahead of this moment? Because 10,000 U.S. troops is a highly concentrated number of U.S. troops in one place.
We don't have any details, but I can assure you that troops and embassy personnel have been dispersed, and the family members of those troops and embassy members were sent home in the last week. Also, we can report that many of those, we had satellite imagery showing that many of the planes that were at Al Udeid, the U.S. warplanes, they had been moved. You couldn't see them on the tarmac last week. But still a very tempting target, symbolically and otherwise, for the Iranians.
There is evidence that Iran had moved equipment and uranium from the site in recent days. And there was growing evidence that the Iranians, attuned to Tiny Finger's repeated threats to take military action, had removed 880 pounds of uranium enriched to 60% purity. That's just below the 90% that is usually used in nuclear weapons. So what have we accomplished? We put ourselves squarely in the crosshairs of a fundamentalist regime with thousands of young men and women who will be directed to attack soft targets. When Islam condemns suicide, there's a distinction made between suicide and acts of martyrdom. And then there's MAGA pushing back. Dairy Queen, who's been outspoken in her belief that this attack was wrong and unwarranted, tweeted this morning. I spent millions of my own money and traveled the entire country campaigning for President Trump and his MAGA agenda and his promises. And Trump's MAGA agenda included these key promises. No more foreign wars, no more regime change, world peace. And this is what the people voted for. But only minutes after she posted this, she deleted it, proving again there's no spine or integrity in Trump's inner circle.
In the what's happening in the oil markets, particularly what's happening, the threat to shut down the Straits of Hormuz, which, by the way, in any Cartesian kind of logic is the craziest things the Iranians can do. But hey, they're taking income, and these guys are not exactly rational anyway. They're looking for the 13th. You know, they're following Mahdi, right? They're looking for Mahdi. So this is the rationality.
Wait a second. Islam is irrational? You guys believe Jesus was born to a virgin, rose from the dead, and is going to come back for the rapture where only Christians float up to the sky? Oh, yeah.
America, don't you feel relief?
But no, Mark Levin, I don't think people are sleeping better. I was very upset yesterday morning when we at least didn't have, give me a Norman Schwarzkopf. Give me at least a grainy gun cannon photo of exactly what the freaking, what happened. They said at the, Raising Cane, who's fantastic and has the president's complete trust, because Raising Cane was the guy that actually took ISIS down, I don't know, in 90 days when they said it would take 10 years. He started off, Sam, as Jack is pointed out, by saying, hey, I've got all the assets that are involved, including Space Command, NRO. As you know, we can pick out a license plate on an Audi in downtown Tehran. Why do I have no grainy photographs? And at least take the initiative that we're taking the initiative. This happened. Understanding a bomb damage assessment is 30 days away. Sam Faddis.
Well, first of all, Steve, I agree with you. Obviously, all credit to the men and women who pulled this off. That's never been our issue, right? The competence of our people. Why didn't they give us an assessment? Honestly, I don't think they have any idea.
Time out. I got to stop this mutual blowjob of how great American military is, because all it takes is for 6 Russian nuclear subs to kill 250 million Americans, and Trump just threatened Russia with nukes if they supply nukes to Iran. Although Man-Titties didn't attack his lover boy Putin, because we all know he has those P-tapes.
Started talking about it, do I look like a guy who needs hookers?
Prove that I'm lying. Prove I didn't see your dick.
So what we have here is completely not what is being advertised. We sent more than 125 bombers with the best military in the history of the world, and now we're hearing that Iran moved their uranium someplace else in a Toyota minivan. And of course, we'll continue to hear from Trump and Fox News that it's Biden and Obama's fault. Except remember, the Obama-Iran deal was an international agreement reached back in 2015 that restricted Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. The deal placed limitations on Iran's uranium enrichment capacity, stockpile size, and research and development. While providing for international monitoring and inspections, we were granted access to monitor Iran's nuclear facilities and activities to ensure compliance until Trump killed it. So now no one knows what the fuck is going on. And speaking of knowing nothing, Trump has surrounded himself with the weakest pack of cuckolds you could imagine, with six-pack Pete Hegseth, a day-drinking Fox News pretty boy white supremacist, little Marco, whose greatest strength is how swiftly he can offer up his ass to Trump, and of course, J.D. Jellyfish Vance, who, when asked if the administration trusts U.S. intelligence, which apparently advised that Iran was not close to developing a nuclear weapon, Vance replied, "Of course we trust our intelligence community, but we also trust our instincts." Your instincts? What? It just kind of felt right starting a third world war. This pig is cowed by cat ladies, and I'm supposed to trust his instincts?
Do you view Vice President J.D. Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No. The world is in trouble, and this pack of feckless little boys are steering us right into the path of a car. Our only hope is that with a possible oil embargo looming, we'll both run out of gas.
Goddamn right.
Do you have no shame?
I don't want to talk about this stuff. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.